All right, we're here at my outdoor worm bin, and I am a little nervous about this check-in, and that is because we put in a pretty huge feeding, and we've had a little bit of a warm snap here in February. I'm in Florida, and typically the weather starts oscillating between spring and summer. Now, when I put my hand on it, I didn't feel any heat, but we'll see as we dig down, and one of the good things is I'm already starting to see worms. Now, it's been 14 days since we were in here last, and let's kind of review what we put in here so we know what to expect. First, we put down a couple of soiled paper towels and added some apple cores, apple slices, and strawberries that we rolled up into a burrito. Then we put a bunch of banana peels on top of that. Next, we made another burrito out of a couple of lettuce stalks, some orange peels, and more strawberry tops. Then we added even more banana peels along with 2 paper towels. Finally, we dumped in the rest of our food scraps to include 3 whole bananas, strawberries, celery pieces, and orange peels. And of course, we dumped in a bunch of coffee and eggshell grit topped with another paper towel that we buried. And I'm already starting to see some of what we put in here. And this, I think, are tea bags. And let's just kind of rip them open so they can get to them. I'm seeing a little bit of mold on them. And let's go even further. And this looks like possibly a piece of the banana. I'm going to lift it up to my nose to see if I smell any kind of alcohol in it, and nothing yet, so that's good. In fact, I'm going to squeeze it out so that the worms can get to it when we mix everything around. All right, let's go a little bit further down in here. Holy mackerel, check that out right there. Tons of worms right in the middle of the feeding. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. Check that out right down there. Let me lift it up and out because I think they are into maybe a banana or possibly a banana peel. Look at that. Oh yeah, we are catching them right in the middle of the act of eating this feeding. Whoa. Awesome. I love it. Now, if we had maybe checked on this after 3 weeks or 4 weeks, a lot of this would have been gone and these worms would have been spread out all over our bin, but we are catching them. So I can already tell with all this extra food in here and all these banana peels that we are not going to give them a whole lot of food. In fact, I will probably put very little in, and check this out. I love it. They really haven't got to the napkins. They're almost matted down. Something I'm not seeing is a lot of mites, so they're not really helping out. The worms are just going right in here. This right here is very mushy, and it was an orange peel, I can tell, and I do smell a little bit of citrus. So, wow. Let's just kind of dig and push around and see what we can find. We did put in a lot of banana peels, and I think this is the fluffa. They are still going after it. I kind of put the fluffa in new, so we are seeing it over and over again, whereas all my other fluffas have disappeared. So with a lot of use, the fluffas are going to disappear too. And this is awesome. This is just like catching him in the act. Oh yeah. Now, unfortunately, I'm kind of disturbing them, but that is just fine. I'm only in here every 2 weeks, and the worms are going to react just fine to that. This right here is the banana stalk, and they're going for it, which is good, because when they get right to it, then the food doesn't have time to ferment or, turn into ammonia or any of that kind of noxious fumes that can form when you overfeed. So it is good that I got in here, and I can help to maybe get some of this food separated from itself and maybe mix it in with some bedding. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a lot of shredded cardboard after we're done digging around. Yeah, this is great. They are all congregated in here, and I'm just so happy that it didn't overheat, because if this was the middle of summer, then we might have found all the worms on the side and none of them really in here. And I think our burritos just didn't get eaten up. Now, I'm not finding any food in here. Well, there we go. A little bit right there, and worms in it. So just a little bit too much of matted down napkin. I think I had put them on top of each other, so I'm just going to rip them up so that they can get to them and feed on them. This, I am not sure what that is. Maybe apple core or a piece of an apple. Very cool. All right, I think what I need to do is kind of bring some of the edges in here and mix this around. So let's go ahead and start over here on this side and pull over. Wow, things are looking good. The other thing I'm noticing is last time it seemed like a lot of bedding, a lot of leaves. And this time I'm seeing more castings mixed in there. So the worms are really getting to work. Now on the sides, I do feel a little bit colder than in the middle. And the middle is not warm. It's just kind of like a room temperature feel. So things are good. Things are really good. Let's go to the front and drag over. Yep. We get lots of great castings being made. And I keep unburying probably the same worms, but it's just fascinating to me every time I run into them. Drag from over here in the front, and then we'll go over to the sides. Now there I felt some grittiness, and I think, yep, I'm feeling some more leaves. So let me kind of mix those into it. If I can get some of these leaves that we put in here, like I think 3.5, 4 months ago, then those mixed up with the food scraps will help to break those down. We only have live oak leaves here, so they are known to be a little acidic when they just fall on the ground in the lawn, so I don't really use them a whole bunch. I really wish I had more deciduous trees here so we could put some of those leaves in, because our leaves don't really fall and kind of put their nutrients back into the tree. What ends up happening is the buds kind of push the old leaves out. So we don't have a fall, we have just kind of a leaf drop all at once in February. And that is coming up. We're at the beginning of February, and it usually happens at the end of February. So looking good. And even from the top, we'll just kind of mix around. So I'll grab from here, kind of mix things up, get some of that food scrap pushed around, and let's go ahead and make our hole and try and put some of the bigger stuff just like that in there. Oh, this is great. And that little sticker you might have seen before, we're going to let the worms eat all around that, and we'll just be able to pluck that sticker right out. All right, perfect. Great setup just like this. Got some direction from the executive producer to look for a big piece of paper towel that maybe we could put in the center and rip up. So that's what I'm going to do. The executive producer is my awesome wife, Autumn, who is behind the camera always and helps us out, and really is a great sounding board for me as I'm doing these videos. Perfect. Just like that. Thank you. All right. There we go. So here's what we had in mind to feed, and you know what? That's just not going to happen. I'm just going to plug out some of the stuff. I have been wanting to try a kiwi, so we're going to put that in there. If you've been watching the channel for any length of time, you know I like our strawberries, so we'll put those in. And we've been eating a lot of asparagus lately, so I want to give that a try. And then about a year ago, we had put in some goji berries, and I found these in the back of the freezer, so we are going to give them the rest of these, and they're just dehydrated. So I think if we put them in just like that, they'll kind of get hydrated. And that might be enough for this feeding based on what they had before. But you know I can't resist, so another kiwi and a couple more strawberries. All right, I think that will do it. So next we'll go in with some coffee, and it seems to be all kind of jumbled up here, or stuck together rather, and there's some mold on it, so I'll just put that over it just like that. And then, yeah, let me wipe my hand. I've been making a mess of myself lately. And then in we go with some pulverized eggshell grit. It's just a little something that helps to buffer the bin, and it helps the worms in their gizzards where they break up their food with the tiny particles of this eggshell. All right, so now we're going to go in with some of this shredded cardboard. And I didn't dampen it, but after going through the bin and seeing how they were doing, maybe I should have dampened it. But the good thing about this is it's an outdoor worm bin, and I can just go in right after I'm done feeding and water it in. So that's what we'll do. We'll give them a lot of shredded cardboard, just another handful right there. And now we are going to go ahead and bury it up, and hopefully the worms will keep going and eat all the food that they kind of had left over. All those bananas, I still feel something right here. Yep, that's a banana peel. We'll go ahead and keep burying it. If I feel too much food coming up over it, like I think I am feeling, I'm just going to put more shredded cardboard in here. This bin is really getting bulked up, and I'm glad to do that before summer, because during the summer the worms are ferocious. They just eat so much food, and they really work this thing down. And I use a lot of the castings in here for my garden. So we are going to be in good shape here. So let's just put some stuff on top, and we'll also backfill the sides here. Yeah, right there, we've got a good gap. So yeah, right in there with some more shredded cardboard. A little bit more on top and towards the front. And then one more handful for right here. So I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, hit that subscribe button and give me a like. And if you want to see a video where I almost cooked all the worms in my vermihut, check out this video right here. And I think I'll put this paper towel that I wipe my hand off with right there before I water everything in. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope your worm bins are doing fantastic. So happy vermicomposting, everybody. Take care now. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is he still crawling? Oh, that was not the funnest thing to have.